Hello guys, and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Moviemaker magazine. We're here at the Camera Studio Los Angeles in West Hollywood. I'm here with David McCracken with his movie, OstrichLand. Let's take a look at a clip.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
This is what Mom had us drive out here for? So much of weird crap.
Fuck yes, I remember this.
I flew all the way across the country for this.
Jesus, would you relax?
David, it's wonderful to have you here in the studio today. Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
It is a road trip comedy about two estranged brothers who drive across the country in a truck full of their dead dad's UFO memorabilia.
Wow.
That's it.
I love it. Where was your inspiration behind making this movie?
It basically came from the script first. It was really about these two brothers, and it was about them trying to reconcile their differences since their dad's death. And then when I came on board, we kind of developed it and incorporated some of the alien stuff and everything, but the ostriches were always there. And it was a great mix of a lot of really interesting, specific, iconic things, all set against the backdrop of the desert. And it just lent itself to a really kind of nice visual story.
Yeah, speaking of visual, it's beautifully to watch in the desert. Whereabouts did you film it?
In Palmdale, California, mostly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you have these two brothers who are just so hilarious to watch together. How did you come about the casting for that?
We had a casting director, and then we reached out to a lot of people that we knew, and we really just kind of spread the word over the course of 3 or 4 months in the summer. And we saw anybody and everybody because it was the kind of movie that would live or die on the performances. And so we must have seen over 200 people.
Wow.
I mean, it was a lot and we saw every single one and read with them. And then once we found Nick first, the younger brother, and then we kept looking for our Zach, and we finally found him in Mike, and we did a chemistry test with them, and luckily they worked out, and then it was golden.
David, I love your style of comedy for this movie, and also some of the very heart-touching moments as well. But you didn't just direct people, you had to direct ostriches. How was that experience?
Well, it was difficult at first, mostly because they are very unpredictable, and they just we had these fences. I mean, we shot at the real OstrichLand in Solvang, California. But it's kind of a Jurassic Park scenario where they just have fences, and then the ostriches can go wherever they want, and you're kind of at their mercy. But it was very quickly that we figured out that they have bottomless stomachs, and as long as you feed them, they'll go wherever you want them to, and so then it was easy.
I was going to say, what is your biggest challenge making this movie? Was it the ostriches?
No, actually, that was one of the easiest days, or the most pleasant. That was our shortest day because we had to travel so far for them. I would say the main thing was trying to keep track of continuity of the dirtiness levels of each of the brothers, and then kind of all the different steps of, okay, his nose is bloody during this stage whenever the car is swerving around and that sort of thing. So it was a lot of making sure that where they started and where they ended up were different, but also progressed in a specific way and didn't jump back and forth too much.
Now, watch this movie. It looks like a full-budget feature film, but this was part of USC.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you? How are they helping you?
It was for an advanced production class, and so what they do is they have a bunch of projects pitch, and then we were one of 3 projects selected. And so the school funds it, and we all kind of put in a little of our own money too. And so the school funds it, and then we also get the access to all of the stages and the equipment and things like that. So I don't know the exact budget of it, but you would have to kind of monetize all of the cameras and that sort of thing that we were able to use too.
So who's been your biggest inspirations as a director?
I would say, it's kind of a stock answer for a lot of us, but it is Steven Spielberg in the sense that Jurassic Park is the movie that made me want to make movies and made me feel awe for the first time. And also just the idea, and I tried to use this in OstrichLand, of juggling a lot of action all at once. So it's not just the brothers fighting, it's them fighting and the truck rolling while they fight. And so it was kind of like trying to get the most bang for your buck and have multiple things going at once without getting too confusing or anything like that.
And did you have any comedic influences in making OstrichLand?
Mostly, I mean, we looked at a lot of 70s road movies. So Five Easy Pieces was the main one. It's a really funny movie, but the way that they just kind of are very presentational about the comedy, like there's a fight scene in that with Jack Nicholson where he's just like tussling with this guy, and we wanted to do stuff like that to just kind of let it play out and not really comment on it necessarily, you know, because the setting of the desert and everything just kind of does the work for you, and you just point the camera and let it happen.
Let it go, right?
Yeah.
What's it like after all the hard work that you put into it that your film gets officially selected by New Filmmakers Los Angeles?
I mean, it's such a flattering experience, and it's why we make movies. I mean, anybody who makes movies just to kind of do them and watch them by themselves in their own basement makes no sense. Like, we make them for an audience, and to be able to be in New Filmmakers and have an audience watch it is the greatest feeling in the world. It's why you do it.
It's the greatest feeling in the
greatest
world. I love it. It's music to our ears. So obviously you graduated now from USC. What's next for you in your career?
Developing a couple features. Some of them I've written myself. Some other people have written that I'm slated to direct. I have a supernatural thriller feature that I had written and directed that is coming out on VOD in, I think, November or December. It's called Daylight. So look for that on VOD. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. Congratulations
Thank
on your selection for your film, and we look forward to seeing more of your work in the future.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to find out more about New Filmmakers Los Angeles, you can sign up for our newsletter at nfmla.org. We'd like to thank Cameras Los Angeles for this wonderful space where we've met some of the world's best new filmmakers.